Hi, beautiful people out there. I know it's been a long gap, but today I'll be sharing you regarding my cabin crew interview experiences. I'm using the word experiences because I have given multiple interviews for multiple airlines and I cleared it by the grace of God in my first attempt, and I'm glad to share. So it was 3 years back from now. It was around May or April, I guess, and I was quite frustrated already, disappointed by giving interview for every airlines. And although I cleared within my first attempt, but I got stuck in medical examinations. I now understand that everyone face different kind of problem and issues. So for me, what I lack was physical health. My hemoglobin used to be quite low, like very low, and I believe that most of we female face these issues. It's very common for us, so that was the issue. It was always there within me, and I was already disappointed, and Indigo was never actually Indigo was not in my list. It was not the option that I was willing to go for, and that's the last option that I kept for. It's not because it's bad, but because I felt that I'm not good enough for Indigo. Actually, there's a taboo, that everyone says, like Indigo is quite strict regarding scars and everything, regarding the interview process, and even in the company itself their rules and are too rigid. Like even in the training process, it's too hard. I felt so intimidated that I wouldn't be good enough. I have a scar. You see here, I have a chicken pox mark, and I was quite underconfident because of this. I'll tell you how I went and why I end up going for Indigo Airlines interview. At the end, it wasn't my choice at all. Again, I'm mentioning it because one of my friends, she just, because she was going and she was so prepared, so she just called me like, let's go by this morning, since she was going for the interview, and she just tagged me along, like, if you like, are you really not gonna go? Like, at least you could accompany me, even you can just accompany me there and give me somehow like tricks and tips. And also I dragged myself. I wore formals. I got ready, and then I really went with her. Guess what happened? On that particular day, the HR, they came late. The given time was 9:30. We reached around 8 already, and we were in the waiting hall for almost such a long period. They reached around 12, I guess, 11:40 or somewhere around. I don't remember that quietly, but they were quite late. Even if it was 10 minutes or 30 minutes late, it was already late, because they are HR, and they had to be before over there, because they are the interviewer. So aside from this, and I assure you, there was already like 1,000 more candidates, and it's always full for cabin crew interviews. Every time it is like that. Everyone knows that, whoever is aspiring for a crew, how competitive it is, like, to clear through those thousands candidates. So even if they came late, they started the process as soon as possible, and I was already bored. I first of all, I did not go willingly out of my own choice. It was just my accompany to my friend. And second of all, I had a backup. Third, that was a surprise for me as well. I received a call again while I was waiting in the waiting hall. The HR from the previous airline that I gave interview for, she called me. She assured me that no matter how long it takes, like, it was okay. She understood that it's not an overnight thing that it would increase, so she just told me, she gave me advice, and if it increases, like, and then they were very much willing to give me an joining date. So what came in my mind was like, should I just go back? It's of no use. I thought, sitting here, what would I do? What would I really do here? Like, I'm already selected. That was in my mind what was going on because I was quite confused at that time. I was very, very disappointed because of my own physical health issues. So that was something, a very wonderful thing happened in that day. And I also told my friend that you I'll just wait for you. Like, you go and complete all the process, and I'll just wait for you, and let's get back. Like let's go. But thanks to her, actually, she told me that, like, it's okay. You also just come along. You give the interview. Like, any which ways you came, and you go through all the process, and even if it's clear, like, you will have another option, so you could choose from both of one. So thanks to her, through her, I got that blessing, and I gave it a shot. I registered myself manually because I did not do it online. The other night, I cleared the first round, and then I went for the second round, which was communication round with other 9 again. So basically, in every round, first like 2-3 rounds, you will have to compete with 9 others. So I cleared the second round, and I went for the third round, which was group discussion. And the topic was neighbor. Yeah, I remember it was neighbor. And again, you have to compete with the 9 others. And since I came through third round, now I was a bit skeptical about the result because since I've already came through this part, like up to this level, like I want to clear now. Like, that was in my mindset. Like, before that, like in the introduction round and the communication round, I was like okay to get rejected because it was the beginning. But now, since I've come through the third round, at least the competitive mind in me came along, and thankfully I got through again. So this time the fourth round was BMI round. This was the scariest part for me here because Indigo is quite strict with the scars, with the teeth aligned and everything regarding grooming and everything. They're very strict about BMI round. Even if like slight overweight or slight underweight, you won't be able to clear. But guess what? I cleared the BMI round as well. And the next thing was that was the last round, which was final round, which also is named as PI round because it's personal interview round. So I cleared the BMI round. This did not matter, and it's a clear miracle. And the next final round, it's something beyond what I thought of, and it's beyond what I experienced. It was just 7 of us sitting there quietly as she instructed. We were just waiting for the other HR, like she mentioned. And throughout that waiting process, she did not ask us anything, neither she questioned, not even a single question, but we were just waiting there, like she instructed. And however, she was on a call, and something strange happened in that moment. While we were waiting, we almost waited for 15 to 20 minutes over there with an awkward silence without any conversation with the HR. However, she was on the call, and her laptop was in front of us, in front of her table, and she was over the Zoom, I guess, with the other HR, and she was showing the resume and all, were like one by one, and they were cross-checking over through, I guess. And guess what? Not even a single question was asked for none of us. And then she declared the name, those who were selected. Luckily, all seven of us were selected, although three of them were selected for PhD and four of us were selected directly. So, among the four of them, I was one from them and I got selected clearly. And then comes the most and final round for me, the medical round. Although I was bombarded with happiness, but still I was terrified with my medicals. I got the mail for the medical evaluation, which has to be done after 2 days. So I went to the venue and leave it all in God's hand, because I already know that my hemoglobin was low and it was not impossible at all. Then I will have to wait any which ways. I'll have to wait. It will take much more time to clear clear this medical evaluation. And but still, then I went and I submitted. I did my medical test and everything, and thankfully this time it was sponsored. As many aspirant might not be aware, so all the other airlines, like apart from Air India and Indigo, the other airlines, they do not sponsor for medical evaluation. Like clearly you have to pay for your medical examination, like all the expenses. It's not included from the, it's not sponsored at all from the company. But thankfully in Indigo, they take care of everything after like clearing all the interview process. So in medical you just have to go and give the sample and get the test, and that's it. So rest, they take care of it. And guess what, miracle happened once again. So after a week I got the mail for the joining, and I also got the call for the preference of the base which I would love to choose. And that's it. That's how it ended up. So that was the story. So that's how beautiful it is. I planned, I wanted something else, and God had something for me after all the disappointment and after all the rejection that I created for myself. But God had other plan, and it was much more, it it has been much more beautiful than what I expected. And I'm always grateful and I'm always glad for whatever happened. Yeah, that's how I ended up working for Indigo and seeing beautiful places, beautiful countries across the world for almost 3 years. I left Indigo now, and I'm in my career break. I left Indigo. I soon will update you regarding that, why I left as well. But as of now, the topic was, this video was all about my experience. So that's how I end the video here. I hope you all enjoyed listening and watching to it. And I shall soon update you regarding the other interview experiences. I'll be glad sharing it if you were eager to listen to it. Thanks for watching. Thank you.